Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force. Today is Thursday, December the 26th, and we are post-Christmas. I hope that you all had a good holiday time. I mean, technically, we're still in the holidays, right, until probably the new year. You know, I'm going to consider that to be the case. But anyways, there's a few things that I would like to talk about today. And I know I've had a few days off because I think we all need a little bit of time. Even people on YouTube, need a little bit of time to kind of recharge. So I was able to do that, and I had a nice time, and I hope all you did as well. I want to talk about the Winter Wonderland Part 3, which started today. I want to give people a little bit of a reminder of the Grootmas stuff that's going on right now, because I've seen some issues or complaints or things about the orb and people not getting the orb and people not paying attention to the milestone, because I want people let remind people about that. And I want to talk about some player numbers related to Frozen Dimension, which you might or might maybe not surprised to know that's not doing too well, and just the broader kind of where the player population sits at this point. I know it's in the middle of the holiday season, so we will take that with a little bit of grain of salt. So if you're ready to go, let's boil this down. Okay, so I do want to start here for Grootmas. The Grootmas surprise stuff, right? The milestones. So this is every day. And you need to remember to do this, because if you miss, there's some leeway here, but if you miss a couple of these days, which, I think for the first orb, which was the 310 Thanos endgame shards, you would have had to miss 3 days, I believe. I don't know how many we're going to be getting from this one, because we're getting 400 a day. If they do another 7 days, then there's only 2 days of leeway here for you to mess up. But make sure that you're doing this. Make sure that you're spending the Winterland energy. You need to spend 100, and you should, if you haven't done anything for the day, you should have 100. So, just to be aware, you can go into any of these versions, although I normally would recommend doing Winterland Part 1, because this is the only one that actually has the Path to Kahori orb fragments. However, I do want to talk about Chapter 3, because this has actually just gone live today, and I was a little bit surprised. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to auto through it in a little bit here. I was a little bit surprised with the rewards on here, because there is a free, it doesn't help me any, but it might help you guys some, a 2 diamond wasp and 2 diamond iron. Oh, look, I can take advantage of that one. So there you go. That's 160 silver diamond credits on both characters if you haven't upgraded them, or if you can still use it. 120 T4s and some other stuff in here. But you can see as the regular rewards, like, it doesn't have the Path to Kahori fragments. So I would just go back to Chapter 1 after you've done the first time on this stuff and just farm there. We have we have 5, nothing super amazing, 5 basic purple ISO crystal orbs, but it is what it is. This one is, however, very, very nice. 2,800 dark diamond credits, 2,000 dark promotion credits. That's a lot on top of the current login calendar due to the previous scroll screw up in November. So I will take this, and 100 silver diamond credits is still nothing to scoff at either. So yeah, some really great stuff in here. Number 4, again, it's okay, right? Six more orbs. This is better than what this was, right? So I'll take that. If you still need blue ISOs, that's honestly, at this point, I think they're basically giving away Apocalypse to newbies. If you still happen to need blue 4 and blue 5 ions, they're everywhere, right? Like, you use so much of this. And then at the very end, if you still don't have this costume, there is the Silver Surfer costume, which I believe was available back in the day for, it was like a $1 offer, or maybe it's still available for new players. I'm not entirely even sure if it's still around. 120,000 purple ions. I mean, hey, it's free stuff, right? If you still haven't unlocked Odin, then there you go. And 50,000 snow globes. So make sure you do this, because there's some pretty decent stuff in here to collect. Just make sure that after you do the first time rewards, I mean, I don't think there's actually, so there's some gold orb fragments here on this one. It seems that you might be able to farm infinitely. So if you're really hurting for gold, maybe, but I'm still going to be going back to Chapter 1, I think, here to farm the Path to Kahori orb fragments. I know it's not a lot. I know we're only getting like 450 fragments per 100 energy, but I still, I really want to get as many Kahori shards as we possibly can before this stuff goes away. Also, the orbs do end up going towards the pity milestone, which I do like. Actually, I think I mentioned that in my previous video just before Christmas as well. So there you go. Also, the other thing I want to bring up in also the orb, right? Just to talk about the Grootmas orb. Now, I think that the second, I think these Grootmas orbs, right? It's like what was it in the photo. So the first one, I think it's still kicking around. This one was the Thanos Endgame shards one. You could try, if you missed out on this, you could try somehow to make a support ticket. Maybe by the generosity of Christmas, if anyone is around, they might actually. I haven't heard of this, but if you happen to miss this, try your best. Maybe you could make an argument for them to like send you 500 fragments to not to finish this orb, but if you hadn't opened an orbital. The second one I believe is going to be 300. If they keep the same track record, 310 shards for Sentinel, and then the third week, which I guess will be post New Year's probably at this point, then that should be 310 shards of Man Thing. Those are the three characters that were on the silhouette. The other thing that I'm not sure about where we're going to get or where it's coming from exactly is the Thanos Endgame Diamond skin. This is here. It was data mined. It was here. I don't know if this is related to Grootmas, if we're going to be getting this as part of all the celebration stuff or like for free, or if this is like some sort of paid thing that's going to come out later on this patch. That part I don't really know, and we'll have to wait and see to find out more. I mean, honestly, it's a little bit better than the gold skins, which isn't saying a whole lot, but I do like this a little bit more. I hate those gold skins. I really do. When was the last? I don't know the last character that had it. I feel like Apocalypse has one, right? It just I don't know. I'd rather have the diamond version than this. This is just ugly. It's like pea colored gold. Like I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of it. So this is very low effort work as well. That's another reason why I don't like it. But anyway, about leaderboard activity. So right now, Three French Hens was the last event to finish on Monday, and then now we're in a new one that does not have a leaderboard, and then next Monday's is going to have a leaderboard, and this was me basically doing this in the last 2 hours. I think I talked about this a little bit briefly in my other video. I just want to talk about how things are going, right? Like the player base, and I'm trying to be objective about this as well. Don't take this the wrong way. I'm not here to do a constant negative video. That's not what my intent is here in this one. It's just more to be trying to be as factual as I possibly can about what's going on and whether or not we're going to see some recovery in the new year, which nobody wants the game to go this way, right? But I haven't seen any recovery in the player base numbers, and it hasn't plateaued yet. So that part of it's a little bit concerning. This has been like, I think it was the 4 weeks ago. The leaderboard from 4 weeks ago was in the 293,000 range or something like that. So in the last month, there's been another drop of about 10,000 players. But I also got the screenshot of Frozen Dimension, which I want to share with you, which you guys all know is a pretty garbage event. However, so this photo here is essentially how many people are ranked who have cleared one node, who have cleared a single. And just to be clear, because I'm actually working my way through the second one. I did actually manage to finish the first one, but as far as where things sit right now, right, we still have 11 days yet. Yes, I guess if you haven't, it's already been like 10 days or so. I feel like it's been like 10 days or so already. So if you haven't gone through it, then there it is. Actually, I need to do a little bit more here. But the first nodes, actually, I can't click on it. I was going to click on, oh, maybe I can. Was it back here, right? So Absolute A-Force. No, sorry, wrong ones. It was back here, right? This is the first one. Annihilators and Cosmic at Gear Tier 14. So that is the bare requirement to get in here. I feel like, I suppose, of what defines an active player, right? Because if we compare, say, this to this, which is just you clicking a button one time to score on the leaderboard, there's a pretty big difference, right? The levels of the accounts and what you have to do. Ask at this point for an active player, quote unquote active player, to have a Gear Tier 14 of 3 Annihilators. And actually, as far as I'm aware, you don't even need Annihilator characters. It's not required to have the Annihilators. It's technically or. It says and Cosmic, but I think it's or Annihilator or Cosmic at Gear Tier 14. That was the big issue from last Pocket Dimension, was that it was requiring Annihilators, but this I think it doesn't. So you can use other characters. And so let's just say three Cosmic characters at Gear Tier 14. That's pretty much nothing, right? Like, I feel like if you care anything about this game at all, it's not a very difficult requirement to hit. Being said, right, 130k players were able to do at least one node. Some of these, as you can see with Strike Team, blah, 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 some of these very well could, I think it's funny that this is actually, this character here is the, this account. Is that not the, Is that Mephisto? I don't remember what border that is. But anyways, no, actually, isn't that Mephisto? This is Mephisto, right? Which one is this one? I don't remember what border that is. But anyways, 130,000 players have done one account, one node. So how do we define an active player? Is this the definition of an active player? I think I have it somewhere, the Shadow King ones that I had the numbers for. I want to see if I can find that again now. Shadow King. Actually, I do. So it wasn't that much higher than what this was just before the Shadow King event ended. There was some other people below me, so there was a little bit more players on there. But because I wasn't able to score exactly the point, like exactly 100K. But the difference between this and the fact that it's frozen dimension, again, I don't think that the node requirements at K of Shadow King, I feel like these are the numbers where we're hovering around when it comes to the quote unquote active player base. And it's pretty low. It's a lot lower than I thought. And what this tells us comparatively, even to the leaderboard for 3 French hens at 282,000, is that there's like twice as many, like there's an extra double, an extra 100% of players that don't do anything, right? Quote unquote, what I would call fluff accounts that don't really do anything. That they could be bots, they could be fluff accounts, they could be, those people who come in from influencers on Twitch, right? You download the thing, you play a couple things, whatever, and you never touch the game again. Those kinds of players. So really, the active player base in Marvel Strike Force is actually pretty low. And I didn't actually think it was this low, though. And I know that people have been quitting here and there for quite some time. I don't know. It seems to me, actually, that the player base is not really rejuvenating itself. I was looking for a better word from that. Then they're not... there's not a net positive right now. It's a net negative. And so I really hope that there are some improvements to the game in the new year that make people want to come back to the game or continue playing and not quit. Because it seems like the weightedness of how things are going right now is in the wrong direction still, unfortunately. Are we surprised that that's the case? I mean, Frozen Dimension was a piece of shit event, frankly, and I'm kind of glad that at least what we have right now with the Winter's Peak. And while I didn't like how this event started, I kind of spoke about that as well. It's a good event. The rewards are good, the milestones are good. It is what it is. It's not too hard to get diamond. Everyone's getting some diamonds, and so it's not that hard to get rewards on this. I'm doing pretty well, I think. Still in the top 500 because I'm at level 50 and I'm just clearing it 2 or 3 times a day, and then just kind of doing that, and that's all I'm doing. But nonetheless, I haven't done anything on Medusa, and I have 45 shards, so I'm kind of happy with how this has gone. I'm just not happy how the rest of the events have gone. So if we could have had 3 events that were kind of like Winter's Peak in terms of engagement with the player base, that's another thing. I because it has a leaderboard, I should have tested this, but I'm gonna wait until towards the back of Winter's Peak, so next week. What I'll do is I'll use my alt account and I will just run one floor, I guess, and see what it looks like at the bottom. And then that way we can get a better picture of how many people engaged with this event over some of the other ones. I don't think that there's a leaderboard. Well, actually there is. There's a leaderboard for Temporal Cataclysm as well. However, that one's very locked, so I don't think that's a very good representation. However, maybe we'll take a look at that next week as well. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. I hope you all had a great Christmas. Just curious how you guys are feeling with Marvel Strike Force right now. I've been hearing from some people that, who have taken their winter break, taken their holiday breaks, and they're like, I'm not sure if I want to pick up the game again. And I think that's where we are with some people anyways, and maybe it's reflective in the player base numbers that we're seeing here. That's it for now, everyone, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. I do have a kind of fun video for you guys tomorrow, so I'll see you guys then. Boilon signing out.